Hey, Daniel O'Connor, the Bryant O'Connor Law Firm. Today I'm talking about a question that I get asked a lot as an estate planning attorney and also as a probate attorney, which is the nursing home going to take my estate? And the short answer to that is no, but Medicaid might. So I'm going to speak in some generalities, and this is in Georgia, so things might be a little different in other states. But there are a lot of details to be assessed, and that's why you need to meet with a lawyer about your situation. But I'm going to speak very generally. Generally, you have to pay for your own nursing home care. And this may require you to use whatever income you've got to pay for it, plus if you have any long-term care insurance, plus any other resources you have. Now, what if you don't have any resources? Well, you may qualify for Medicaid. Medicaid is a government program administered by the state, and a lot of it's federal funds, but it's administered by the state for medically needy people. And so this is basically a program for impoverished people. A lot of people think that Medicare will pay for nursing home care, but that's generally not the case. So what if you do own property, but you want to qualify for Medicaid? Well, you can't simply give away your assets to become impoverished. If you have more than $2,000 in assets, you would generally not qualify for Medicaid. So there's some exceptions to this. You are allowed to own your home up to a certain limit. You are able to have a burial plot and certain funeral arrangements. If you have any income, such as Social Security, retirement, you may have to set up what's called a qualified income trust, which basically funnels all your income through a bank account and a trustee who pays for your nursing home care. And any difference between your nursing home care and what your income is may be covered by Medicaid if you qualify as needy. So how does this have to do with Medicaid getting your estate and you losing your property? Well, any money that Medicaid spends on your nursing home care, if you use Medicaid, they are entitled to recover that from your estate, generally speaking, after your death. So let's say you were in the nursing home for 4 years and it cost you $60,000 a year. That's probably low. I'm just trying to use a round number. That would be $240,000 worth of nursing home cost over 4 years. Let's say you have Social Security and a pension that between the two of them add up to $3,000 a month, which means Medicaid was paying $2,000 a month for your nursing home care. So that's $24,000, $48,000, $96,000 Medicaid paid for your nursing home care. They're entitled to recover that from your estate. So if you die owning your home, they may put a lien on your estate, which could force your heirs to have to sell your home to pay off the debt. So that's sort of where people get the idea that the nursing home is going to take your estate. Well, the reality is a home is one of the only assets you can really own if you're on Medicaid. Otherwise, you're going to have to sell your assets while you're alive to pay for your nursing home. Some people would say that's fair and right. You ought to use your own resources to pay for your nursing home care. But as an American citizen, you're entitled to use whatever government benefits are available if you qualify for them. So some people try to game the system and to qualify for Medicaid. And there's nothing legally wrong with that. So what can you do to take advantage of Medicaid, assuming you have some kind of estate? There are a lot of options, and that's why you got to meet with an attorney about it. Generally speaking, if you plan early, there's a 5-year look-back period. So if you try to transfer your assets in order to impoverish yourself, less than 5 years before you go in the nursing home, the government's going to look at that as fraud. Like you were gaming the system. So you're not going to qualify for Medicaid, and you're going to have to pay for your nursing home care and be penalized to some extent. If you plan well ahead of time, there are a lot more options. A lot of people create irrevocable trust. These are much more involved than 95% of the trusts we create, which are revocable living trusts. Irrevocable trusts are very restrictive, for Medicaid planning at least. They're very restrictive. You have to put your property in the hands of somebody else, and you really lose control over your property. For some people, this is so important that it's worth it to them. But other people think it's too drastic a measure and don't want to do it. That's a personal choice. That's why you should meet with an attorney if this is a subject you're interested in. Medicaid planning can be quite expensive. So you can assess the risk of you going into a nursing home care, and whether that risk is big enough in contrast to the high cost of planning for Medicaid. So what is your risk? What's the chances you'll go into a nursing home? What options do you have? Do you have passive income such as pensions or retirement or rent that may be enough to pay for your nursing home care? Do you have long-term care insurance, or maybe you're young enough that you could get long-term care insurance so that you don't have to impoverish yourself in order to pay for your nursing home care? Does Medicaid provide, if you're able to help it and pay for your nursing care some other way, does Medicaid provide the level of care that you would actually want? You need to learn about that a little bit. So consider all these things, think them through. They're beyond the scope of one video. But I would really encourage you, if this is something you care about, to set up a family wealth planning session with us. We'll look at the whole big picture, your assets, the people you love, and your priorities, and determine what the best plan is for your estate. So we hope to hear from you soon.